We got to get right back into the radio show. It's Opie and Anthony. And very excited. We wish he was in studio, but we'll take a phoner anytime from Ricky Gervais. Ricky!
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Hey. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I hear you're having a bit of a heat wave in New York, aren't you?
Yes, it's disgusting.
Yeah. It's like 125 today.
That's ridiculous.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm back in London.
Oh, okay.
Is it hot there?
It's nice. It's like 75. So I sweat because I'm a fat bloke, but even I'm not sweating, so it's just right.
Are you one of these guys that believe in global warming, or you don't believe?
In all honesty, from what I've heard, it's definitely going to happen, but I'm going to be dead.
Yeah, so who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you know what I mean? That was their mistake. Keep saying it's not you, but it's your children and your children's children. So, fine. They also should call it global warming because, we're quite excited in Europe about that.
Yeah, because it's pretty gloomy and cloudy and rainy. You would like a little more sunshine over there.
They really have played the whole thing terribly, terribly badly. So, not my fault.
It's disgusting. It's like this morning, I leave my apartment at 5:40 to get here, and it's already daylight, and it's just muggy and thick. And it's like you understand why violence really goes up when it gets to be hot, because you just want to attack somebody physically.
Well, so be careful. Remember what happened with the tramp?
What was the tramp?
The hobo, as you call him.
Hobo.
What happened with the hobo?
Wow. Didn't you get in trouble for a hobo saying things about the Queen and Condoleezza Rice?
Yes,
God, yeah.
A hobo.
Almost Charlie. Oh, yeah.
Almost Charlie ruled.
Yeah. I just want to attack...
He really did. He was hilarious. It's too bad that we got in trouble for what a homeless guy was ranting about.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
thought Ricky was talking about gay guys and had a cold.
Hey, our buddy Roland has already seen Ghost Town, right, Roland? And he says he loved the movie.
Oh, that's great.
And it's not even coming out for what, another few months?
I think obviously you get it first. You are the United States. You are the world.
Yes, we are.
As Michael Jackson sang. Yeah, exactly. You are the world.
Yeah.
You're the bit that matters. You get it on 19th of September, and little old England get it on the 24th of October.
Wow.
And then Europe and
Wait. Why is that? Yeah. I mean, I understand for maybe movies starring American actors, but you're huge all over the world, obviously, but you're from over there, so you think they would release the movie for you guys first.
Well, I think it's a good idea for it to, because it's an American movie, it's set in New York. It'd be nice to come home being the conquering hero, as opposed to come out in England and people think it wasn't good enough to be released in America.
Yeah.
That's our attitude in England. We're one of those suspicious. I think we invented the phrase familiarity breeds contempt. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing exotic about. So I've got to come to England with it going, it was huge in America, honestly.
Yeah, believe me.
I will be, in case you're asking, a lot of people have asked me, so are you playing an American? No, I'll be doing the same accent as I did in The Office, Extras, and every other cameo I've done. I will be using my own accent and the same haircut. If I played Genghis Khan, he'd talk like this, he'd have this haircut. I'd be this colour. I'm not getting there 2 hours early for makeup. It's ridiculous. It's not worth it. It's just a film. It's not worth killing yourself over. So, I'll be doing my usual.
Ricky, that's the beauty of you. You got to watch your project for about 10 or 15 minutes to see what role you are playing, because your look doesn't change. Like Robin Williams, he does the beard. Okay, serious Robin Williams. See, he knows how to mix it up a little bit with the look.
Never mind all that Daniel Day-Lewis nonsense.
Yeah.
Ooh, look, I've got a funny eye, or I've got one left foot. Big deal.
Hey, Ricky, as we're talking to you, I just got a text from my friend, Robert Kelly. We're sure you know who he is. He played a ghost in Ghost Town who basically silently followed you for 3 days on the set, like as a ghost. Do you remember kind of a big fat ghost who would try to strike up conversations with you awkwardly?
Yes, but it wasn't awkwardly. It wasn't awkwardly.
You're being polite. You don't remember him.
You don't remember him.
Please, See, we're hoping that you would say you don't remember him because it would give us some great fodder for the next
I think
10 years.
Do. And of course, I've seen his picture and his name since because I check IMDb every day to see how many hits I got. It's poor. It's poor. So if you could make people go and see Ghost, joking aside, I think Ghost Town's a really nice film, and I hope people go and see it. I mean, there's no, it hasn't got Tom Cruise in it or any of those, but it's a really lovely film. I think David Koepp did a great job, and it's really funny, and there's some old-fashioned about it. It's sort of like one of those I don't know, It's a Wonderful Life type films. It's funny as well. I mean, and there's lots of ad-libbing, and it's a really funny film. But it's a grown-up film as well.
Well, Ricky, we're going to do you the biggest favor because we love you.
Thank you.
We have Roland in studio. He saw the film.
Yeah.
So he's going to tell everyone what he liked about Ghost Town. This is a treat, Ricky. This is a treat. We don't do this often. Roland?
It's like my own personal review. Brilliant.
Yeah, go ahead. Roland, Ghost Town.
Well, Ghost Town stars Ricky Gervais, Greg Kinnear, and Taleone.
Ricky Gervais?
Gervais.
Ricky drop the S and get silent?
Don't heckle. Listen, I'm assuming this is going to be a great review.
This is going to be an amazing review.
It will be.
A really screwed up program if you got me on to say he was poor, he did his usual one-trick pony nonsense, his hair hadn't changed.
No.
You're great.
He looked short and fat, and it really showed up all
Roland.
I mean, I'm assuming this is going to be a great review, so don't heckle him.
we got a guy that saw the movie already.
Right.
It doesn't get any better than this. Go ahead. Sell Ghost Town for Ricky Gervais there, Roland.
It's a sort of a romantic comedy, but it's like, literally, it's one... To me, right now, it's my favorite movie of the year. Seriously.
Wow.
It's funny. It has, like, the romantic comedy elements, but it's like a classic movie. Like a classic romantic comedy where you're like, finally. It's a great movie.
I loved it. I love that. That's brilliant. That's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said.
Well.
That's all you need to say.
And it has a good twist, though, with the different things, with the ghost and everything. And it's a really good story and had a great ending, too.
What's the ending?
I'm not saying. I will not say because I love the movie so much. I want everybody to go see it. It's one of the best movies out there.
Did you see, Roland? I actually got I apologize, a construction worker Bob Kelly played. And Bob, as stupid as he is, Ricky, we know nobody but idiots. It was a pleaser working with him. That's what I just got texted.
A pleaser.
A pleaser.
Robert Kelly said it was a pleaser working with you there, Ricky.
That's great, and it was a pleasure working with him.
He has no idea.
I like the way
listen, I know it was a pleasure working with him because it was a pleasure working with everyone. So,
see?
Ricky's a nice guy.
Yeah, of course.
Diplomatic, aren't you?
Well,
Greg Kinnear's a good actor. I like Greg Kinnear.
He's in
He's
everything,
great, isn't he?
man.
Yeah, he really is.
Really good.
Yeah, Ricky, of course you're calling because we're all excited here in New York, and I guess Los Angeles as well. We should promote that. We're heard in L.A. You're doing your stand-up.
Yeah, I'm doing a few dates. I start off with a couple of warm-up dates, and the theatre.
How about we do this for you? July 11th and 12th at the Kodak Theater in Los Angeles, and then you come to New York to the WAMU Theater at Madison Square Garden, July 14th, 15th, and 16th.
And
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Get the tickets. You can also go to you get a Ticketmaster, or you can go to rickygervais.com. Roland left off the S, but it's Gervais.
And in LA, there's another guy on the bill is called Ahmed Ahmed, who's a really good stand-up. And in Madison Square Garden, the support act is Louis C.K., who I think is at the risk of putting myself down, the best stand-up in America. I think he's amazing.
We'd certainly take issue with that, but Louis is a great comic. How is he as an actor?
Do you know what? He said he was nervous about it, and he thought, am I going to be another comedian on a film goofing about?
Yeah.
But I really think he's going to be the surprise breakout star of this film, because he's so charismatic. He didn't just go in there and try and be himself. He even shaved off his goatee. He plays a really dim sort of lunk of a guy who's sort of like out of control and he's the only person in the film who's a bigger loser than me.
Go ahead, sorry.
He's absolutely great. You know, I mean, well, you know, he's really charismatic and sweet, and he's got a lot of heart, and it's a very, Very funny. I think he's brilliant. I can't get enough of Louis. I blog about him all the time. I just put a video on my blog of Louis. I took him on the private jet. They gave us a private jet. We were filming, right, in Lowell, but I went to New York weekends and I took Louis on it. On the way there, he forgot his keys. He's an absolute catastrophe. He was late. He lost his bag. He left the thing in the airport. He's 40 years old. And on the way back, it was turbulent, and he was so scared, right? He was sweating. He looked like a big ginger testicle, just dripping, right? And because he was scared, he was shouting obscenities. And it was one of the funny. I was scared, but you know when you're nervous, you think, well, if I'm going to die, this is all right, because there's a man who's more scared than me, and he's going to die saying something like, shove it up your ass. And it's so funny. The video's on rickygervais.com, and it's just pure fear that fuels these comments.
I heard the video.
I heard about that.
I heard the video's good. We'll link it on onaradio.com. You do realize he's an awful human being, right?
What, Louis?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he is. I think he pretends to be.
See, he's protecting that from you because he does our radio show. He does our radio show a lot, and he's just an awful human being.
Well, he comes out with some pretty out there stuff, but I assume it's the name of exploratory comedy.
You know what Louis' great gift is? Louis, we love Louis. Is he's one of the best storytellers. Like, he's just one of those guys that he's inherently interesting. No matter what he's talking about, he can make it funny and interesting, and I can't do that.
I totally. What he does is, if he goes to the shops for a pint of milk, he'll come back with a really self-deprecating story that happened to him, and it's the funniest anecdote you've heard.
Yeah.
And it happened. Suddenly, he went to he went to a Celtics game when he was there, and he said they kept going to the crowd and putting people on the jumbotron. There was a bloke with green hair, and they go, "Whoa!" and laugh, right? And then there was some guy dressed up as a clown. They put him on the jumbotron, and people go and laugh. And he heard this crowd go, "Whoa!" and he looked up, and it was him. And he said that they just went, "Whoa!" Like, look at that guy. He didn't even mean to be that weird. And he just
Poor Louis.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You know what makes me happy too, Ricky? I'm reading this thing where it says you were doing stand-up, and there's always one critic that's going to be a complete douche, and this one guy gave you a hard time, so you were closing every set by saying, I can't say it on this side of the show, but calling the guy a little ugly pug-faced C.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? When I first started, I was worried about. I really feared being famous because the British press, are quite onto it, and they're very snipey and personal, and they're jealous. They all want to be celebrities themselves. Well, that's not all. I mean, 5% of them, right? And I feared them, and then I thought, well, hold on. I've got as much a platform as them. I'm not going to take for it. So if someone says that with me, I'm going to absolutely destroy them. And now I don't fear it anymore. I've got a better platform than them because these people that criticise you, and I'm not having to go at all critics, but when it's someone who watches telly for a living and tells us where we went wrong, I want to go, hold on, I made a programme. You wrote 200 words. You know what I mean? It's sort of like so now I do sort of fight back now, and because of that, it doesn't hurt me anymore. I just think, oh God, they're nothing. What are they going to do to me? I make comedy and stuff for like-minded people. I do it for people who might like it, and I don't care about people that don't.
Did you hate the criticism? Because we all get criticized. Did you think it was like, I didn't know what he said, but was it legitimate criticism, or was he going out of his way just to be a real tool?
Well, he didn't like he didn't like the Bible. He's a religious man himself, and I do a thing where I deconstruct the Bible. I look at Genesis and stuff, in a comedic way. I'm not getting on a high horse. I'm not, I'm not preaching. And he said, oh, deconstructing the Bible. Oh, that's too easy. And I thought, well, it shouldn't be. If you believe all this stuff, then you should be strong in your faith. People who are strong in their faith aren't worried about jokes about religion. They're not worried about it. And I just think he he gave it away that it was personal. You know, that's all. That's why.
That's a great point. E-Rock just wrote this, and I'm so bummed I didn't see this. On a recent Saturday Night Live, hosted by Steve Carell, Ricky did a bit about the origin of The Office. It was a show from Japan. They aired an over-the-top Japanese version of The Office. That sounds hilarious.
It was funny.
At the end, Ricky is sitting in a director's chair laughing. He said, "That's funny because it's racist."
That was an ad-lib. That wasn't, that was an ad-lib.
Brilliant.
Which is nice.
Can I see that on YouTube? I would love. I don't watch Saturday Night Live as much as I used to, so I'm kind of bummed I missed that.
I think it is on YouTube. I think I even linked to it on my website.
RickyGervais.com.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey,
good plug.
Are they as repulsive over there about, like, race and stuff here? Because, like, you do anything racial here, and Americans are such sissies about race. Over there, I know there's, like, tension with Muslims, but is there as much racial, like, tension over humor?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, it's obviously it's everywhere, but there's idiots everywhere. I think that you guys are more open about everything. I think that you sort of vive la difference more than we. I think there's a fear here. It's still a big taboo to even bring up issues of race in comedy or whatever. Whereas I think that your comedians are much more liberated about it. You know that there's a difference between making jokes about race and being racist.
Yeah.
And I think that we're still a little bit scared.
No,
we're a little bit scared to offend, even though what you might be doing, it isn't racist. It's just talking about issues. So I think that it's probably it's slightly freer in America, but I politically I don't know whether it's a bigger or lesser problem. I don't see a lot of racism. I must say I never really have growing up here, but
yeah.
I don't know that you go into some backwaters of places and it's like nothing's changed.
What's frustrating to us in radio, they still don't get that message that we're just trying to make jokes. As soon as you say something that's outrageous, they think you're being racist.
Well, exactly.
When you were trying to be funny. To the point, the company we work for now, we're not allowed to do any Asian humor whatsoever. Can't do the voice. We can't even discuss it.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you what we're not allowed to do because they'll just dump out.
Well, I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued as to what Asian humor is. But is it like Jewish humor?
Yes, it's like
just the stereotypical Asian stuff that you would see in any comedy club, and people would enjoy it and laugh, just like they would if you're being stereotypical about blacks and Puerto Ricans and everybody else.
What Jackie Chan does, the way Jackie Chan sells his films, like that. To do any of that is we get dumped out of.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're a bunch of white guys that are angry that you can't be racist.
Right.
Or have racist humor.
Happened?
Yeah.
What's the world coming to if a bunch of white guys can't get together and broadcast hate?
Of course, we created this damn thing that broadcasts. We bring sunshine.
Yeah, we do.
The world's going to the dogs.
Well, the SNL skit, we would get fired for that.
Really?
Yeah. If we did that skit on our radio show, we would get fired. There was a show here in New York, JV and Elvis. They did an Asian bit, and they were trying to be funny, and they are no longer heard on radio.
Well, this is the point, I think. This is the point that people have got to get over. It depends where the comedy comes from.
Yes.
It can come from a good or a bad place. If it comes from a bad place, it's disgusting and it's not funny, and people like that won't survive in our world. But if it comes from a good place, then it's cool. It's okay. You can make jokes about anything as long as you can justify it. And I just think the subject of race is no scarier than the subject of carpets or the subject of art. It's what you do with it.
Do you have a pen?
I have a pen, yeah.
All right, write this number down. It's the corporate lawyers. You need to have a discussion with them for us.
Let me sort it out for you.
Because it sounds so logical, but we've had that discussion. It goes nowhere. Anyway, moving on. GTA 4. A lot of people ranting and raving about what you did for GTA 4.
Oh, that was great fun.
Yeah.
That was really, really good fun. They just got me in and said, do stuff, go crazy. I went, I'd love to do that. And then it took me about half an hour to get into the tightest lycra all-in-one suit. I mean, I looked like something from a man who fell to earth. It was ridiculous.
I haven't found it yet, but they're saying you did like 6 to 8 minutes of stand-up that you could watch on the TV in the apartment.
That's right. I think I did a radio show. I did some stand-up in a club that you can go into the club and see me do it, and then I'm on the TV as well.
Yeah.
And someone said, they got to my bit. I met someone, and I said, I got to your bit. I said, can you shoot me? And he went, I haven't tried. Which it will be the first thing all my friends and everyone else in England do.
Yeah.
The first thing they do when they get to that bit, they say, I wonder if I can shoot him in his fat face. Although, the good thing about Rockstar Games is they made me a bit thinner, so I thank them for that. I look pretty butch.
Nice. RickyGervais.com has crashed.
Really?
Yeah, I think people want to check out some of the stuff you've been turning everybody on to today. It'll come back up. Hey, The Office. Jimmy turned me on to the English Office. We've talked about this when he came in studio. Probably my favorite sitcom of all time.
Wow.
And it gets better the more you watch it, and how brilliant that thing is. And I'm so bummed out it was only on,
12 episodes.
12
plus
lousy
the
episodes.
I know. Well, there's sort of a reason for that. I'm lazy. No, no, because we sort of did everything ourselves, and it's when you sort of write and direct it and you're in it, it takes a year to do 6, and we didn't want to farm it out. We didn't want to use other writers or other producers, even though we stopped, we said everything we had to say, it still sort of lives on. I mean, the American Office is on 100 episodes. It's shown it's still shown its original form in all over the world, and there's loads of remakes. So, we sort of did our bit, and that's it really. And I don't want to do something just because it's working. I don't want to milk it, because you do want to do other things, but, I'm very proud of it as well.
Why haven't you been on the American Office? Are you open to the possibility of maybe doing a cameo or some kind of flip? I think all of a sudden they do some kind of flip, and there you are. Would be just so much fun for everybody that are fans of the English Office.
Well, I wanted them to be watching extras in one episode, and I wanted Steve Carell to come in and go, no, I don't like this guy. If they did an American remake, I'd be perfect for this.
We've interviewed a lot of celebrities, and you mentioned extras. My most embarrassing moment ever, and I've been doing this radio for a long time, Ricky Gervais comes in to promote extras.
Oh, God, that's right.
And the whole time I'm thinking that it's The Office extras.
Like outtakes.
Outtakes and stuff from the English Office. And if you listen to the Ricky Gervais interview we did in studio, it's so obvious. I don't even know about this show Extras. I'm thinking it's extras from The Office. Dude, I got so uncomfortable. I could finally talk about it. My hair was standing up on my arms and stuff. I just wanted to disappear when you finally politely said it's a show on HBO. You couldn't have been nicer. You should have really just slammed me.
Isn't embarrassment a wonderful thing?
And then
comedy.
I ended up watching it, and God, another great show by Ricky Gervais. Extras.
Thank you very much. Again, and another 12 episodes in the special.
I know you're lazy. I'm thinking.
I think so. I get bored very quickly, and I don't know. I think it's because I've been let down myself. There's so many shows that do just go on, too for too long, and it smacks of like success going to their head as opposed to trying to achieve something aesthetically. And I do it because I enjoy the process, really, the creative process, and that's the fun for me.
But you can't deny, though, that sometimes a show goes on, like when you get a Happy Days, and then it morphs into a Joni Loves Chachi. I mean, it's just more entertainment for your buck.
I was thinking about Happy Days, as I do. I liked it early, and obviously it gave us the term "jumping the shark," and everyone knows that. But it was actually, towards the end, one of the strangest shows ever to be made. I mean, it was genuinely, interesting. I think it's nearly as strange as Different Strokes. But we can't talk about that because there was people of different colours.
That's right.
We're not allowed to mention that.
Hey, do you remember Dudley was almost Remember Dudley was in the bathtub? That was my favorite episode. When creepy Mr. Carlson from WKRP in Cincinnati was trying to photograph sexy little Dudley in the tub.
Yes, that was the very
the
special
weird episode that's on YouTube. That weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. That is one of the weirdest shows ever.
They started doing a lot of very special episodes in the 80s. That was a huge thing to do. And it would tackle some of the tough issues of the day, like child molestation and drug use.
It's incredible. Why don't we do it again, right, but just with us? We're just all white living in the same house, and there's no issues at all.
Yeah, we're happy, successful. Yeah, that's all.
Wait, what were you saying about what was the weird Happy Days? How did Happy Days get weird for you?
Well, I saw one when James Randi, the sort of cynic, and he's a guy who says he's put up $1 million for anyone who can prove anything that's supernatural.
Wow.
And he's also a respected magician.
Yeah.
And he was in one episode. And he was on the great Randy, and he had to get into a tub of water, and it was a big show, and he escapes. He does an escapology thing, right? But they went, "Oh, can I have a drink of water?" And someone goes, "Here's a drink of water," and he drank it, and he went, "Oh, that's neat vodka," which is weird. I don't know where they got that from. Wow. And he goes, "I'm allergic to alcohol," and he went unconscious. And Fonzie goes, "I'll do it." And he got into the barrel and escaped without any training, and they were cheering. He came out all wet, and I was thinking, it's one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the hell?
I preferred his homoerotic relationship with Ralph Malph and Potsy, like that, just that kind of fruity domination he had over them.
I thought he flirted with Mrs. C as well.
Yes.
He definitely did, and the poor old guy didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
the thing about me with the Fonz is that he was clearly 42 years old and hanging around with school children, and he used to say, "Would you please come in the toilet?" He asked his sons to come in the toilet.
Yeah,
which again, was a bit weird. You want to go, Mr. Fonzarelli? You're really too old to be hanging around a school now. I know you've got a motorbike, but no, you've got to stop hanging around this school.
And he never he was. Everyone was scared of him, but he never punched anybody. You never saw him fight.
No, he didn't need to.
No.
That's cool. Fighting's not cool, sucker. Oh, I've changed. I've gone into the A-team now. Let's talk about the A-team. Now there's a show.
That's great too, because no one ever got killed in that. They were firing off all kinds of weapons, but the bad guy always crawled out of the rolled over Jeep or the shot up truck.
You noticed that when there was an explosion, you could see the actor come off a trampoline.
Yeah.
And land on his back. It was great. It was just like the flip in midair and land on his back. Not one of them landed on a spike in the ground.
Yeah. Dopey show.
I almost said this to Ricky Gervais, and now I have to say it because I think he would appreciate it. Hey, Ricky, it was rumored that you were up for the role that went to Jack Gyllenhaal in Brokeback Mountain.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal in Brokeback Mountain. See, that's the one sheet for Mark Wahlberg, who's coming up next. And I almost had another bad moment with Ricky Gervais. I flipped the page over thinking it's just another sheet of bullet points, that we could go to, and oops.
It would have been a different film, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would have been.
But how was it, seriously? How was it being in Boogie Nights? Hey, we really want to see. I'm really looking forward to you. I've never seen you do stand-up, man, especially knowing that Louis on the show, too. That's a great show.
Yeah.
And July 11, 12 in L.A., but here in New York, it's July 14 through 16 at the WAMU Theater at MSG, and the tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. And everybody who's seen you just said you're a great stand-up. And RickyGervais.com.
I can't wait to go. Can't wait to go.
Thank you very
Ricky.
much. The pressure's on now. I'm going to rehearse.
Are you going to come?
I'm going to practice in the mirror. Are you going to get all my lines
with a
down?
hairbrush?
Perfect.
Hey, when these shows sell out, you will still come in and say hi to us, right?
Yeah, and are you going to come along to the show? Definitely.
Oh my God, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I'll lay on some canapes and a glass of champagne for you.
I know.
Actually, what time do you go to bed? I won't be off till about 10. You'll probably have to leave halfway through, won't you?
No, I'll make it a late night for you, Ricky. Every once in a while, I'll stay.
I always ask this to breakfast DJs. What time do you go to bed?
Honestly, I go to bed around 9:30. I just need my sleep. I can't do it. Every once in a while, I'll push it to 11.
Well, when I was filming, I was just doing the film. I go to bed at 9 o'clock every night because you run around for like 10 hours. I'm like a toddler.
Yeah.
I just need sleep. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we do have to take a break, but really fast. Where are you at with your podcast? Because you get rave reviews on those.
We've just done one special one-off to launch a little. It's a bit of. I shouldn't mention it. It's an internet radio station.
Yeah.
Is that okay to mention?
Yes,
it?
yes.
It's the NME, the New Musical Express. It's like a new music paper. They just launched a radio show, and we did a one-off 2-hour show with music that's being played. Just go. It's if you go to rickygervais.com, there's a link to it there at the NME radio. Yeah.
And are you going to do it on a regular basis again?
Well, we might do sort of like another series of 6, but. Because I want it to be regular, I don't want to let people down. So it's hard to find that 6-week period where I'm not popping back and forth. It's the same as having a cat. You can't just. I need someone to look at. Analogy doesn't work at all. It's nothing like having a cat. I was just running out of words. That's why I'm not going to do radio.
It's too bad though, because you hit the Guinness Book of World Records for most downloaded podcast. Wow,
yeah,
8 million downloads. 8 million downloads.
Well, it's gone up now. It's actually it's 22 of the free ones and about 2 million of the paid podcasts. So I think that's. I think. Do you know what I think it is? I think that it's actually the growth of the iPod. I think it keeps going up because as people get an iPod, they look for things to download. So and it's still growing. Isn't the iPod just one of the best inventions of the decade? It's incredible.
Right.
I love it. I mean, I'm not allowed to advertise, am I? So I must mention race, podcasts, or I've got into trouble again. I won't mention Condoleezza Rice and the Queen either.
Thank you.
All right,
it's funny when you come in. We're going to go over songs we work out to on our iPods because I have such a weird song.
Oh, I bet eclectic, Jim.
I bet you. Okay. I have got the Rocky soundtrack on my iPod.
Right. That's pretty bad.
It's not that bad though.
That's horrendous.
You could get a lot worse than that.
How?
I said, yeah, but if I tell you, sometimes I work out to it.
Well, you know what? Growing up in high school, my friend Frank was a Sylvester Stallone fanatic. He would take Polaroids of the TV when Rocky 3 was on, and he'd paste them in his house, his parents' house, and he would work out to the Rocky theme music as well.
Wow, that's great. But that's lovely.
Yeah, he was 13.
Yeah.
So it's kind of understandable.
Hey, Ricky, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully,
an absolute pleasure. That was great, and thank you so much for giving me all those plugs. I'm only embarrassed, but keep it up.
No, we think you're just